Harold in New York City. You are on the air with Dr. Ravi Batra.
Yeah, hello, Ravi Batra. It's Harold Channer in New York.
Hi, how are you?
Good to talk to you again, my brother. I'm calling, and congratulations on all the work, and to Hartman for what he's doing. I'm wondering, with the situation, Thinking Prout and so forth, and the signature book you wrote, The Great Depression of 1990, I wonder, do you think the analysis still holds, and we may not be just heading for a mere double dip, but we may be heading for a Great Depression? I wonder how you think on that grand, large scale of thinking your thinking is now.
Thank you, Harold.
Well, defining whether we are in a recession or depression is just a matter of semantics. I mean, what we are facing right now, it's pretty bad, and it comes close to a minor depression. Now, if it keeps on going like this for another 4 or 5 years, then this would also be called a Great Depression. So, now my analysis in that book was that extreme concentration of wealth causes a depression, and that's exactly what we have an extreme concentration of wealth and getting worse. That's why I feel that we are not going to come out of this easily unless there is a revolution in the economy and society, and that's precisely what I've predicted, that we are going to have a revolution in a matter of 4 to 5 years. Then everything will change, everything will be on a sound footing. At that time, we would then have a golden age. That's why I call it the new golden age, because it will be the first golden age in the United States.
Yeah, so what you're predicting basically is that people will realize how corrupt Reaganomics is and supply-side economics and these insane policies that we've been pursuing for 30 years, and repudiate them, throw the bums out, bring some people in who will go back to rational trade policies, go back to rational taxation policies, provide a strong social safety net, and our country will work.
That's right. In fact, you can see already how much the anger is rising. Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then President Obama's high poll rating in spite of high unemployment shows that people are very angry with Reaganomics.
Paul in Lucerne, California. You're on the air with Dr. Ravi Batra.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Good. Your question for Dr. Batra.
I wanted to ask him if he really thinks we could actually roll back those Reagan tax breaks and just go back to 1980s tax code.
Dr. Batra?
I didn't get the point.
He was asking if it's conceivable, if it would be a good idea or possible, I'm not sure which, or maybe both, to just simply literally roll back the Reagan tax cuts and go back to the same tax rates and essentially the same tax code that we had in 1980.
Oh, definitely. That's why I asked you to read my article called The Weapons of Mass Exploitation. It explains everything, including this idea of going back to the old tax code.
So so we should go back to 74% top income tax rate on the rich and an average, I think it was around 24% import tariff on imported goods. And that was a source of considerable income to the United States, as well as kept our jobs here.
Well, I also recommend that whatever extra revenue we get from import tariff, we should spend it on eliminating the Social Security tax from the minimum wage, get rid of they should not be paying that tax.
Right.
And also reduce the self-employment tax, because small businesses create a lot of jobs, and most small businesses are self-employed. So few tax reductions, but mostly increased taxes on the wealthy and rich corporations.
Yeah, very well said. Jackie in Napa County, you're on the air with Dr. Batra.
Yes. Hello, Tom. Thank you. And Dr. Batra, thank you. My question is, since you've covered the first part of it, is what is it that we missed as a people with this Reaganomics over 30 years to bring us into this situation? And what is it we can tell and teach and help our children to understand that they won't end up in the same situation?
Well, that's why I write books which people can easily understand. And Your starting point should be just read my article on the weapons of mass exploitation. It's just a 5-page long article.
Yeah, we put a link to that.
How economics has destroyed our economy.
We've put a link to that in the Daily Stack for our newsletter, and it'll be over on our homepage. Or in our newsletter rather. So folks who are signed up for our newsletter will get a link to that. But if you could, many people won't be able to do that. They're driving in their car right now or whatever, or they, some people aren't facile with the web. You want to just summarize it very quickly for us, please?
Yeah, the summary is this. Wages are the main source of demand. Productivity is the main source of supply. For a healthy economy, supply must be equal to demand, which means wages must be in proportion to productivity. Now, over time, productivity goes up because of new technology like the internet, computers, and so on. That means wages also have to rise in the same proportion, so demand rises in proportion to supply. In the past 30 years, all the government policies have increased productivity, but they have cut wages. The result is too much supply, not enough demand, and to plug this supply-demand gap, the government has been creating a lot of debt. Consumer debt on one side, government debt on the other side, so that demand artificially rises to the level of supply. But this cannot go on forever, because a time comes when consumer debt stops rising, because banks would not lend money anymore once you are out of your good collateral.
Right.
When people have used up even their home equity, banks would stop lending. Then the government has to increase its debt so much that it will be a shame. In 2004, the government debt was $7 trillion. Today it's $14 trillion, just in a matter of 6-7 years, doubled. So it's a very bad situation. Yeah. We should not be living on the government debt. We should follow policies that raise wages to the level of productivity. As simple as that.
And a simple way to start that is by raising the minimum wage.
Raising the minimum wage and eliminating our trade deficit, getting rid of business mergers, breaking up the oil companies. If you want to balance this budget, there's a very simple way. Put a 1/10 of 1 cent tax on all the financial transactions, like purchasing of stocks, bonds, options, derivatives. Just 1/10 of 1 cent will create $1 trillion a year.
Right. That's the STET tax, the Securities Transaction Excise tax that we had in the United States from 1917 or something like that until the 1960s, 64, 65, something.
That's right. And now these financial transactions are so large. The derivative market, some people say $200 trillion, $300 trillion, and just put 1/10 of 1 cent. That's all.
Right.
And you'll use that $1 trillion.
The national.
You don't have to do anything about income tax or anything. That's another very simple way to balance the budget.
Interestingly enough, National Nurses United is out promoting that aggressively. Janet, I don't have a city for you. I see the 209 area code.
It's Gustine.
Okay, and you're on the air with Dr. Batra.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Dr. Batra. I wanted to ask, what would you think if Ireland, Greece, Portugal said no to the IMF, as Argentina did? Argentina seemed to recover rather quickly after that.
that will create chaos in the short run, but in the long run they'll be better off because right now the IMF and the Eurozone are asking these countries to adopt suicidal policies, and so these countries are already in severe recession and they are going into a depression soon. So Argentina did the right thing because in the end you have to get rid of all those predatory lenders.
Mm-hmm. So is there a parallel with the United States? We have just a half a minute left here. Is there a parallel with the United States?
No, we don't.
We shouldn't default.
Our debt is in terms of domestic currency, not in terms of foreign currency.
Uh-huh.
That makes a big difference. That's not the same.
So if we defaulted, it would be the disaster that Tim Geithner is saying.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Ravi Batra, we are 15 seconds out, right, Jacob? Yeah, okay.
Well, let's meet for a beer sometime. Where do you live, Tom?
There you go. I look forward to the day that we can get together in person. Dr. Ravi Batra, ravibatra.com is the website. Sir, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tom.